This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV. We're in Jim McDonnell's house here. This is your house, Jim, isn't it?
One of them.
We're in Gaucho's here in London for a James DeGALE media lunch. With me I've got trainer Jim McDonnell. How are you, Jim?
Yeah, fine, thanks, Coogan.
Yeah?
Looking forward to the cup final Saturday.
Yeah, so am I, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, we're here with James at the moment. James has been with Matchroom for a few weeks now. Obviously, we know he's fighting in 2 weeks' time. How's he settled in? With anything new, different from previous?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's on a big stage, on a big promotion, boxing in front of 81,000 people. He seems like he's got his mojo back, and he's absolutely buzzing. We've been to Spain training, and there's just a new bounce about him. So yeah, he's absolutely rocking, and look forward to going out and putting a good performance. Can
you notice a considerable change in his attitude, and he seems to have a spring in his step? Talking about this fight, have you noticed that as being his trainer?
I've been with James from day one, and just see like he's always up for a challenge. He's got a live opponent. He's a good fight, final eliminator for the IBF, and he's also, which is great, thanks to Gary Lewin at Arsenal and England. He's also injury free, and it's made a massive difference to him. And fighting on a big bill and getting that vibe, he's got a bounce about him. And I think he's going to put on an amazing performance. I think people will be very impressed by what they see. But yeah, he's really looking good.
Undoubtedly, you would have done your homework on GONZALEZ, but what sort of threat does he possess to this eliminate with James?
Yeah, he's a world-class fighter. He would have been going to the Olympic Games, but for an injury, and Andre Ward went in his place, which a lot of people don't realise. So he's been at the top of the tree for a long time in the USA. He's a very good amateur as well. He's got a mixed style. He's not one-dimensional. Sometimes he's quite smart with his moves his feet, clever, and other times he fights in the pocket. So in training we've worked for plan A and plan B, James has sparred with different guys with different styles to incorporate what he's going to be up against at Wembley. And James has got to be on his A game, and this guy's a real challenge.
James mentioned to me earlier on that he'd been doing a bit of sparring with Nick Blackwell. How's that been for him?
Yeah, Nick's been absolutely superb. Like, we was out in Marbella sparring with Steve Simmons, and Nick was out there sparring with Matthew Macklin, and I watched the sparring, and it was just quality sparring. And then we asked would we come and work with James, and he's done that, and he's been a real gentleman. And he ain't no sparring partner, he's a very good fighter, and it's been good for James, and we'll be doing a little bit more with him in the very near future.
Did that help James just have that little breakout in Marbella?
Yeah, absolutely. When you're in a long training camp, I'm very demanding in the boxes. You've got to tick in preparation for fights. Even before we've come here today, we've been on the running track this morning, put a very tough session in, and just to go to Spain and get different sparring, different environment, a little bit of sunshine on your back, just breaks up the camp, because sometimes when it's like day in day out, rain, it does get a little bit like stale. So yeah, it just freshens it up, and it just gives James that bounce, and he enjoyed it out there. And we was out there for 5 days, but we trained every single day. It was solid, and it was different. So definitely, it was definitely a plus.
From an outside perspective, do you believe that James is going into this fight as a favourite?
You know what? I believe with the bookies, he is a favourite. I never take Mark as a bookie. It's all about your prep. You can't leave no stone unturned. And this kid's a real. That's why he's like where he is with the IBF. He's a top-notch kid. Spoke to loads of people in America, and I know that James has got a real challenge here. So, and that, to be fair, that gets James' mojo going. And this is when you see James box at his best, because even in sparring, you can just see that bounce about him, and he's buzzing, and he likes the challenge. And he's boxed numerous 12-rounders, and that's a big advantage for James in this fight. This kid's never been in a 12-round fight, and to go into a 12-round fight against someone like James DeGALE, that's a tough baptism for him in championship rounds, because James boxes at an amazing pace for a super middleweight. And so we've got quite a few pluses on our side as well.
Are we potentially entering the period where we're going to see James's peak now?
100%. I think just from watching his attitude, watching his focus, watching his vibe, he's really on it, and he's been totally focused since he's been a professional. But he's gone to a new level again now, and he's up for the big fights and the bright lights and the big nights. And I think he's the start of it.
All right. Well, Jim McDonnell, thanks for talking to IFL TV. You know, I'm still in need of a trainer, don't you?
You got my number, mate. When you want to come down, let's make it happen.
You know about my amateur pedigree, don't you?
I've heard different stories.
I boxed for Sri Lanka in '93 at the Sri Lankan Games.
What weight division did you compete in?
I was at cruiser.
I boxed at cruiser. How did you get on in the Sri Lankan Games?
I lost in my first fight and retired.
Okay.
But I want to make a comeback.
But I'll say anyone who's stepped between the ropes for real and listened to the sound of the first bell, hats off.
That ain't me then. That ain't me then.
I thought there was a bit of banter on the end of it.
No, that ain't me then. But he's had a few fights. Eddie, isn't he? Amateur.
Yeah.
You've been at? Would you bet some of them?
Yeah. Obviously, when I was boxing pro, I used to stay at Eddie's, and Eddie used to come Arsenal with me, and I've known Eddie from when he was just a little kid, small guy. I remember going to Arsenal Man United, he'll tell you a night game, come out and my car was gone. We parked it in the wrong place, we got towed away, and like, still madness. So yeah, but Eddie was always into the box. I used to train at his house, at a gym there. So I used to be working at Eddie, used to always come in the gym, watch me punching the bags and that. I was getting ready to fight Nelson and McGuigan, people like that. And Eddie was always like there, and he was always into his boxing. Like,
how many amateur fights did he have?
I don't think he had a lot of it. I think he had maybe he might have been. I'll check with him today. But I think he might have had at least 3. But
was he really good?
Yeah, to be fair to him,
you ain't just got to say it, Jim.
No, I've been straight. He just had this drive, this thing to do it. He just loved it, and like he was doing the basics well at the time. Like he was just a raw novice, obviously, but like he was trying all different things and that. So then he joined a little club up somewhere in Brentwood, and boom, got carded and went and done his thing. Yeah, so yeah, but.
Do you think there's any footage flying around?
You know what? I could put a few feelers out for him and try and find out.
Try and find out, because that would be good. If we could get his first ever amateur bout, we'll put it on IFL TV and let the public decide what they think.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Alright, Jim McDonnell, thanks for talking to IFL TV, and we'll catch up with you soon anyway. Enjoy the lunch here. It looks it's going to be alright.
Appreciate it, mate. Nice one.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, Coop.
Cheers, mate.